Hello, my name is Will. I'm happy you've decided to try out meditation and mindfulness with this tape. Consider listening with headphones for a more immersive experience, but conversely without headphones if you want to expand your mindfulness to listening to your space while you meditate. Before we begin learning, I'd like to do some quick introduction. First, I would define mindfulness as the state of being aware of yourself in the present moment, and this is certainly a state to strive for the rest of this exercise, while we begin meditating and starting yoga. Meditation, to me, is utilizing mindfulness and/or a singular focus to train yourself to be more present. People often think meditation results in an achievement of a certain state, but this is not true. Meditation will always be accompanied by your human brain occasionally steering off course, so remember to just let yourself feel whatever you are feeling without judgment. I promise you will learn from this experience, even if it feels like you've hit a wall. Lastly, yoga is an ancient Indian physical, mental, and spiritual practice similar to meditation, but often slightly more physically active. We will combine common yoga poses with an attitude of mindfulness in an effort to bring mindfulness to your whole body. I made this exercise tape to specifically lean into my own strengths as an auditory learner with a pretty active mind. I find that when a lightly musical element is added to a guided meditation, the elements of the music can aid in the understanding of what you should be doing in your mind and body. For instance, you might hear a sound being unmuffled as a filter lets up on it as you allow gravity to sink you into a yoga pose, hopefully in a relaxing manner. Here, the sound of a slight release in the music, to me, feels almost exactly the same as the feeling of letting go of all the tension in your body and growing a sense of intimacy with your physical form. One last note, breathing is a pretty constant aspect of what we will be doing, and I want you to breathe in the way that is most comfortable to you. My mom taught me cleansing breaths as a kid, where you breathe in your nose and out your mouth, so that is how I breathe while I meditate. But you must experiment and find what is best for you. Perhaps nose breathing or mouth breathing works better for your body, and both are perfectly fine. You just need to be able to breathe easily and relaxed. Now let's get going on our journey, beginning with 4-7-8 breathing, after which we will do a short sitting meditation. Then we'll spend most of our time on a suite of yoga poses. I want you to use this tape as a guide to learn how to meditate and explore what you can feel, eventually meditating without my guide, if you wish. Let's begin. Before we get started with meditation and yoga, let's work on a simple breathing technique that many call 4-7-8 breathing. It comes from an ancient yogic technique called pranayama, aimed at learning to control your breathing. I like to use this technique nearly daily, usually to quell the normal anxieties that rise randomly in life, or even to simply gain some additional agency over my mind, body, and spirit before something important, be it a challenging conversation with a partner or before giving a speech to a class. The technique is ultimately quite flexible and works basically by breathing in quickly and then exhaling slowly, at least twice as slowly as your inhale, and then repeating for however long you desire. Usually, I can feel something significant after 3 to 5 cycles, and I let it go for about 5 minutes if I can. A standard formula and namesake for the technique is to inhale for 4 seconds, hold the breath in for 7 seconds, and then slowly exhale for 8 seconds, allowing for a second or two before recycling. To begin, let your body relax in whatever position you find yourself in, and close your eyes if you so desire. Sitting or laying down work best, but when push comes to shove, you can do this in a litany of less relaxed positions, even standing. Allow your body to let go wherever you can feel tension, and see if the tension travels somewhere new, and release that tension too, and so on. Now, after we're settled, let's turn attention towards the breath. Breathe in and out, slowly and relaxed, but allow your breathing to be deep and thorough. For a second, consider how much oxygen your body really needs and how good each breath really feels. Your brain is saying thank you for the treat. Okay, now I will turn on a metronome to give us a nice pulse and help with counting. The harmony will change when a new stage of the exercise happens, so you can hopefully continue the exercise without my explicit instructions and I'll help lead your concentration while we keep breathing. Okay, let's begin. Breathe fully in and fill your lungs. Now stop inhaling and hold your lungs full. Now begin exhaling slowly. Make sure you pace this breath. It's okay if this takes practice. Rest. Inhale. Hold it. Exhale. Rest. Inhale. Hold. Release your breath. Rest. Breathe in. Hold it. Breathe out. Rest. In. Hold. Out. Rest. Okay, inhale and keep following the pattern without me. Try this out solo for a couple rounds. How are you feeling in your body and in your mind? Do you feel anything releasing? Think about how you're feeling and simply observe it. Not how or what you're thinking, but what you feel. We don't take stock of this present feeling enough. Greet each new feeling with kindness and don't judge it. We spend all day judging ourselves. This is a break. If you feel happy, consider being grateful for that. If you feel sad, really feel it. In this moment, they are just feelings. They can be scary and uncomfortable, but they themselves cannot hurt you. I recommend getting to know these feelings and understanding and learning to live with them. This practice over time grants you a lot of agency over your emotions. You can feel them fully, but also choose how you move forward from them, good or bad. Okay, let's do a few more cycles without my voice, then we can move on. Okay, if you'd like, you can open your eyes and unmeter your breath. How do you feel? It's equally important to ask yourself this question after an exercise like this as it is during the exercise. Now that you're hopefully feeling more relaxed and had a chance to breathe a little, let's move on to a sitting meditation. If you'd like more practice before moving on, that's quite alright. Feel free to rewind or repeat this track as much as you want before moving on. Or maybe don't move on if you're just looking for a quick relaxation guide. Anyway, let's proceed. Hello again. Now we're going to move into a sitting meditation. This is similar to the image you probably have in your head when I say the word meditate, sitting cross-legged on the ground with your eyes closed, but we won't be chanting Om today. Instead, we'll be using a mindful state to gain new intimacy with our senses and mind. Let's start by getting our bodies into a good position. I find the most success with either sitting cross-legged on the floor or kneeling on both knees, resting on your feet. Some people like to sit on a pillow or cushion to add comfort, and you may too. However you choose to sit, make sure to maintain an erect posture and allow your spine to hold itself straight up. This posture should really click when you feel your chest and lungs open up, and your mind may even begin to reflect this new, alert, more confident kind of posture. Make sure you are not straining in any way to hold yourself up. If you are physically unable to do this, I would think this exercise could easily be done lying down. Once you're in position, place your hands somewhere they can relax and be somewhat free of excess stimulation. I like to either lay mine on my hips or hold or clasp them together loosely. If I do this, I remain mindful to leave my hands relaxed and free of the natural tension of holding something. Okay, now that our bodies are all set up for a sitting meditation, let's get going and move our attention to our breathing. Just breathe in and out, slowly and thorough, with as little effort as needed. After a second of establishing our breathing, let's fully turn our focus onto our breath. This could mean many things, actually, but you'll find with some experimentation, all of these avenues provide important information about your senses. For example, focusing on how the breath feels in the face, chest, or mind will all tell you a different yet equally important story about yourself. Your focus on these feelings will likely get off topic several times. This is okay. All it takes to fix this is to realize what you're doing and start focusing on the breath again. I'll help you try a few ways of focusing. Let's remember to keep breathing. In and out. In and out. Breathe in and feel the air travel into your nose or mouth and down the length of your neck, eventually resting in your lungs. Exhale, but keep your awareness on your chest and lungs. Take note of how it feels for your chest when you breathe. Try and refrain from judging these feelings and avoid labels like good or bad, but rather try and be more objective, like tight, relaxed, or unsteady. Remember that we're just here to see what's up. We're here to feel as much as we can in a targeted way so we can diagnose those feelings after the meditation if we choose to. Keep that awareness swimming around your chest cavity for just a bit longer. Feel your lungs expand and contract again. Feel your lung cells grabbing onto the fresh oxygen and setting it into your bloodstream. Each breath has a powerful glow of energy to offer you that we often take for granted. From here, let's try moving our awareness down a little bit into our bellies. A lot of the expansion and contraction of our lungs happens down here as well, so feel how it feels on your belly when you breathe in and out. You may discover that you're holding some tension in your belly, which is perfectly normal. Just double check your posture and choose to let go of what tension you can and feel how that impacts your breathing now. We'll stay down in the belly for just a little bit longer. Keep breathing in and out. Now, let's try moving our awareness up to our nose and mouth where our breathing is happening. Choose to feel the sensation of the air first hitting the inside of your body. Does it feel cool, warm? Does it maybe tickle a little? Sometimes these sensations can be overwhelming or ticklish, and I'd encourage you to allow yourself to feel these stronger feelings. I often simply allow myself to react, usually just by smiling or giggling. Why not take a chance to smile? When you focus on breathing through your face, trace the whole length of the breath. Take note of the instant you start to inhale. Feel the air flow in a unique shape through your nostrils or mouth and feel the breath taper to an end. Appreciate the moment of apogee between breaths. Your lungs are full of rich oxygen, and you are, in this moment, feeding your body. Choose to release the breath and feel your body relax and come to a state of rest for a moment. Do this for the next few breaths you take, and then we'll move on. Okay, let's do one final exercise. This could take some practice, but we're going to try and use our breathing to become aware of our physical bodies as a single mass. This works well in a sitting meditation because we are in a condensed position and very near the rest of our body. To do this, let's begin by breathing in normally as we have been and tracing that breath into your lungs and feel the tingle of the oxygen replenishing your body. Feel like it pulled out to your fingers and your toes, even up into your brain. Feel this glow and take a moment to realize this whole feeling is coming from just your breathing, something you do all day, every day. Use this awareness and try and trace the border between your body and the air around you and the floor beneath you. Any contact your skin is feeling, with your clothes, with the floor, or with your skin, allow yourself to feel it and use it to understand the full feeling of just having a body. This is just me, but in these moments of really base feeling, I like to consciously be grateful of these sensations and for having a body that allows me to feel all these things whenever I choose to, and for a body that lets me choose most of the time. Our minds and bodies are marvelous and complex things, but through meditation, introspection, and mindfulness, we can actually gain a huge spiritual understanding of our hardware. Take a few more moments to keep breathing and reflect on having a body and inherently feeling it. Okay, if you'd like, you can open up your eyes and exit the sitting position. Now, I'd suggest you reflect on how you're feeling mentally and physically and see if you can use these observations somewhere in your life. You'd be surprised how much this practice can improve your life in many facets. For me, I find it keeps me at a safe and observable distance from my emotions so I can feel them fully, but not be so overwhelmed by them that I act in some way I'd regret later. Compare these feelings now with how you usually feel, or maybe how you feel after your next meditation session. I can't tell you exactly how to integrate what you learn, but approach it with an open heart and open mind, and simply act in your own best interest. Now, let's move on to some mindful yoga. Hi there! Our last big exercise together will be a sampler of different positions for mindful yoga. We're going to go through 5 main poses, starting with the Crocodile Twist. Let's begin by laying down on your back on the floor, preferably on a yoga mat. A carpeted floor will also work, but the extra padding and traction of a yoga mat can be of great assistance. Now that you're on the ground, relax your body and just lay there for a bit with your arms out to your sides with your palms up if you're able. This is called the corpse pose. It's a sort of neutral position to start yoga with, and we'll come back to it to start off some other poses. Since this is mindful yoga, let's take a second to turn our attention to the breath, just as we did in the sitting meditation. Observe your breathing and how it makes you feel. If you can, feel how your whole body is stimulated by your breathing, and allow yourself to relax into the floor. The floor should be doing all the work of holding you up. From here, let's stretch a bit. Take both arms and bring them above your head and stretch your arms upward. Hold this stretch as far as you can hold it without hurting yourself for a few seconds, but remember to keep breathing and focusing on breathing. Feel your shoulders and chest stretch out, and if you notice any unnecessary tension arise, try and let it go, and allow gravity to act on your body as much as it can. Okay, you can stop stretching and return to the corpse position and relax. Now, let's begin the Crocodile Twist. From the corpse pose, scoot only your butt about 2 inches to the left, but leave the rest of your body where it is. You can place your hands on your abdomen if you'd like. Then, bend your left knee and bring it as close to your chest as you can without using your hands. Hold this for just a second and feel how this stretches your thighs and or glutes. Now, move your left knee over your right leg and twist your lower body to the right, leaving your shoulders on the ground and your upper body generally unchanged. This is the Crocodile Twist. Don't feel a need to push your stretching right now, but rather find a way to hold this pose for a while that requires as little strain or tension as possible. Really just sit like this for a bit and let gravity pull down whatever body parts it can. Remember to keep breathing as normally as you can throughout this whole exercise. Does breathing right now feel different from when we were in the corpse pose? It's okay if it doesn't yet. We're going to do several different poses. Okay, you can break the pose and return to corpse pose for a second. Now we're going to switch sides. Move your butt to the right now 2 inches and raise your right knee up to your chest without touching it. Hold it for a second and feel this new body shape. Then, twist that knee to the left and hold the crocodile twist again. Keep your body as loose as you can and let gravity stretch your whole body over itself in a way. Does this direction feel any different than the last direction? Is breathing any easier or harder this way? Keep breathing calmly and focus on your breath. You may have to kind of maneuver your body and muscles uniquely to allow for both your body and breath to be steadily relaxed, and do the best you can. You're going to have a gainful experience no matter what. Okay, you can stop the pose and return to corpse pose. Let your spine sink into the floor and observe how you feel now compared to a few seconds ago after holding the pose for a while. Now, let's move on to the seated twist pose. Okay, you can get up from the corpse pose and sit on your bottom. Bring the pads of your feet together in front of you and let your knees fall towards the ground naturally. This should stretch out your thighs, but don't push it. We just want to stretch out a little bit. This position is another pose like the corpse pose, and it's called the bound angle pose, and we will do it for a bit before moving into the seated twist pose. Inhale and allow your spine to hold your body upright and maintain this posture. Take note of how the air feels filling your lungs in this pose and feel how that interacts with stretching in your thighs. Welcome the discomfort of stretching these powerful muscles, but don't overstretch them. Pain is not welcome in this session. Now, move your legs to be stretched out together in front of you. Bend your left knee and place your left foot across your right leg. Now, using your right elbow for leverage against your left knee, twist your upper body to the left as far as it will easily go. This is the seated twist pose. As you continue breathing normally, feel your body fill up with air. Then, as you release, lean a little into the pose and notice if you have any incremental additional stretch distance. Repeat this a couple times and make sure you aren't increasing any tensions by doing so. Okay, return to sitting with your legs stretched out in front of you. Now, bend your right knee and place your right foot across your left leg. Use your left elbow to push against your right knee and stretch your body to your right. Hold this pose and repeat the breathing from before. Breathe in fully and relaxed, then exhale into a further twist to your right. Do this a couple more times. Okay, great. Let's return to the bound angle pose and stretch out our thighs again as we get ready for the eagle pose. Okay, hopefully we're already in the bound angle pose, lightly stretching out our thighs and focusing on our gentle breathing. Leaving your legs put, hold up your left arm in front of you with your forearm turned up by 90 degrees. Move your right arm underneath your left and move your right hand back to join your palms together. This should look like praying hands but with a twist in the arms. This is the seated eagle pose. Hold your arms up like this and feel any stretching in your shoulders already if you can. Keep breathing calmly and slowly raise your arms straight up, further stretching your shoulders and upper back. Just like in the seated twist pose, use your exhales to incrementally increase your stretch. Okay, now release into the bound angle pose and let's switch sides. Now hold up your right arm at a 90-degree angle and use your left arm to reach under and meet your palms together. Keep on breathing and see how far your arms can extend upwards. Pay attention to your body's signals and don't overextend your shoulders. Okay, relax your arms back into just the bound angle pose. Take note of how your shoulders and back feel after being released from a stretch like this. Okay, for the cat and cow pose, begin by going onto your hands and knees with your arms roughly shoulder width apart and your knees a bit wider than your hips. Get used to sitting like this for a second and make sure you have your breathing relaxed in this new position. Now, inhale, and as you're doing so, move your head to look upwards and arch your back by lifting your tailbone. This is the cow pose. Now, exhale, and while you're exhaling, move your head to look towards your knees and tuck your tailbone, causing your back to arch upwards into the cat pose. Keep doing this alternation while I talk. Strive to make the transition between these positions smooth and run your body in a way that allows you to be breathing easily in both positions. A lot of movement like this could breed great tension, so maintain mindfulness throughout your body and release any tension that builds. Okay, just a couple more cycles. Great. You can now stop alternating and simply rest on all fours like how we began. Okay, our last pose is going to be the bridge pose. So to begin, let's get back into corpse position. Let your back relax and allow your spine to be supported by the floor. Now move your feet up towards your butt so your knees are somewhat bent. From here, begin raising up your lower back, starting at your tailbone, and slowly move up your back until your body more or less goes straight from your knees to your shoulders. Finally, reach your fingers and arms towards your feet, and now you're in the bridge pose. I would imagine bending and holding like this puts considerable strain on your breathing, but try your best to stay calm and relaxed in your body and breathing. Try out different ways of supporting yourself with different muscles and find what works best for you. Hold this one for just a bit longer and really feel what your breathing does to you in this position. Can you feel the sensation of breathing in your mouth or nose, or your chest and belly? What about in your bent legs or your toes? Take a few more moments to feel as much as you can before we end this. Okay, gently let your body come back to the corpse pose and let your body rest. After this tape ends and you resume your day, think about this and how you felt and how you feel using your body in your daily life after this. I hope this tape has helped you learn a little bit about mindfulness and meditation. Both are incredibly vacuous topics, so having a guide to help you out with your first times is a surefire way to start effectively practicing on your own. Happy meditating.